Okay, everybody, hey, it's Tripl-L, and now let's talk Shokugeki no Soma chapter 231, Full Throttle. And of special note, before we start with this chapter, I just want to really talk about the cover page. Man, like, I don't know, I really like it. I think it's really funny. I really respect this, you know, like with Shokugeki no Soma, you have to admit it's equal opportunity fan service. But yeah, man, the manly men of Totsuki, appreciated, really like this. So it's gonna be the little image that we have for the rest of the video, just because. Anyway, so this chapter of Soma, when you look at it in terms of what it's doing and the kind of structure, it's largely a setup chapter. It's pretty much loading us with the expectations that we should have for this round of the Regiment de Cuisine, and just loading up with the expectations of what we can expect the characters to be doing. Now, the chapter is pretty simplistic in a few things that it's doing. It's pretty much telegraphing us what we're going to be dealing with here. And the biggest thing that I'm really thinking about when I'm saying that is specifically the teamwork aspect. We have a very dramatic display of teamwork right at the beginning, with the three characters for the first years coming together and pretty much just having a powwow session, just saying like, hey, I'm gonna need your help, and you know, Megumi's asking Takumi for something, all that good stuff. Now, if you notice, when people, or sorry, one of the, I guess, comments that were going on while they were doing that were that this is going to be on a whole different level than Kuga and Subaru. See, like, with the moment you have that statement, it's like, it's such a simple telegraph. Like, we as readers know that irregardless of the situation, we know it's going to be on a different level, because like they're pre-planning ahead of time without communicating with communicating with each other, while the Kuga and Subaru was a one-time instance. Like, we know it's going to be above and beyond. But yeah, having the people just tell us that is just the author really being heavy-handed about it and making the statement, this is going to produce a very different result than the very quick help that Subaru and Kuga did. Truthfully, I expected this. I expected this showing. I expected this very heavy-handed way of saying this, but it is rather annoying as well, in that, you know, Subaru himself had a lot of potential when it came to being able to help in this kind of fashion. And if this is like the kind of difference that we were going into, where simply talking ahead of time would have created a major difference, it's a question of why didn't they do this? And like, again, when you look at it and you look at Arena's justification for this happening, is that these three have been competing against each other the whole time. They know what they're doing, they know who each of them are, and they know like their general styles at this point. By all means, if there was ever a trio that you would expect to be able to help each other to the fullest extent of their abilities, it would be this trio. But on the other hand, Subaru comes out of the box with the capability to do this by virtue of Trace. So, you know, it's a situation of like, if it comes down to the fact that pre-planning is going to be the biggest difference between the way Subaru helped Kuga and this, it's like pre-planning could have made a very big difference for Subaru, Kuga, and the third seat in the previous round. So this isn't a big issue, it's just an issue of not using characters to the fullest potential. And when it comes with Subaru in particular, because he has such a shonen-esque ability, such an anime-based ability, you know, it's pretty glaring. Again, I'm also pretty salty about the fact that Subaru lost, because the character just had a lot of potential. And at the end of the day, he was used away in the chipping away health strategy, which again, it's pretty much what sets us up in this narrative, but it's still kind of bothering, just because the thing that they're pushing here is this cooperation aspect, an aspect that really Subaru would have been able to like also bring at full throttle. He would have been able to bring. And again, the other big issue here is like the logic that's being used to justify this, that being when Arena's saying like the three of them have been facing each other on the train, and that because of that they should be capable of cooperating and supporting each other, because they got their skill level up to a point and they know each other's cooking. Yeah, but you know, like, again, that's really a complaint that is really coming from me. That's just for you guys to know that's how I feel about this. It's still good. it's still good that we got this because we know that we were going to get this to some degree. We knew that their teamwork was going to be a wild card aspect for this round. I've been talking about in the previous videos that the teamwork aspect would be doing this. And now when you have the situation with the teamwork going on, what this ultimately does is that it screws up the power rankings. It screws up the skill levels and how strong characters are against another. So the one that it has the biggest effect on, or the biggest possibility of influence, really is on Megumi, because Megumi is fighting the biggest uphill battle. Takumi should not be having that much of a problem with Aizen, based on a few assumptions. It depends on whether or not you think that the degree to which Aizen was holding out on, because we talked about this in the there were commenters in the previous chapter, and again, shout out to you guys. You guys were pretty awesome. I really like those comments, or that comment. It was a pretty long comment. Aizen was set up and told that he had more potential. So it really depends. If you think that untapped potential that Aizen has and didn't use against Soma, if you believe that brings him up to the level of a fatigued Saito, then Takumi has the same difficulty level that Soma has for this round. I don't think it's that drastic. I think that's a very ridiculous notion that Aizen is going to do better than Saito, considering by all that we should expect that Nene could probably do well against Aizen anyway. It really depends. It depends on how much potential Aizen actually has. Like, if we get a chapter later on where Nene is saying like, yeah, I can't take Aizen on when he's serious, then holy man, like that is such a power jump. Wow. That said, Ishiki, if he gets serious, I think could take that Aizen relatively well, and we might be seeing that type of scenario unfolding if we have Ishiki versus the first seed. We might see a case of like, you know, there's going to be someone in this arc that doesn't match up with their ranking. There's going to be someone who is significantly above their ranking than what we previously assumed. It's either going to be Rindo, it's either going to be Aizen, or it's going to be Ishiki. One of those three, it's going to have that ranking being higher than what they actually, or sorry, their skill being higher than what their ranking is. Who do you guys think it is though? It's going to be funny. Anyway, the other big significant part of this chapter is Takumi. You know, Takumi's getting a bit of showcase here. He got some interactions with Soma calling him a sibling's disciple, and he got the interaction with Megumi. Again, you know, it's nice to see the characters talking and all kinds of stuff. But the biggest thing that's being set up here for Takumi is that the author has given Takumi a drama point against Aizen. He specifically wants to pay Aizen back for something over cooking battles. And this is pretty new. I don't know what exactly Takumi's hoping to get. I don't know what drama point he wants to deal with Aizen on. I assume it has to be one of the things that Aizen was doing in regards with Subaru or something. It's hard to tell. I hope... Right now, I can't think of what drama point they're going to be doing that doesn't involve Subaru. And I also just looked up on the wiki, and I can't for the life of me try and figure out what exactly Takumi is alluding to. If you guys have any thoughts there down below, if I'm forgetting something, just let me know what you think. What is he paying Aizen back for? If anything, I would have thought like Aizen rigging Shokugekis at the beginning of the Azami arc. I think that would have been a good point, but anyway, it seems like the author does want to establish some commonality between Aizen and Takumi in order to make like a very justifying... Okay, this is gonna be... I think he wants to make a justifying or a satisfying victory for Takumi, and one of the ways to do that is to further villainize Aizen. So it'll be very interesting to see exactly what we're gonna get when it comes to the Takumi and Aizen drama. Yeah. Okay, so look, those are really the big points for the kids on our side, the rebels. Other points popping up here, of course. You know, there were flashbacks with Shinomiya. There was like that very nice, funny little gag with the other two chefs from Shinomiya's generation hearing what Shinomiya was saying, and or not hearing what he was saying, but feeling what he was saying and responding from a distance. That was cool. And then we have the overall theme of don't underestimate the first tiers. Irina's putting them out there because she knows that they have the best potential when it comes to working together. And you know, ultimately it's a pretty nice shot of Soma saying not to underestimate them. I think that's pretty cool. I think it's nice. It's a nice idea, and I really do think, like, Ishiki's saying that this battle is going to be the most important one. I think the most important battle was the one before because it set us up for this situation. But right now everyone's talking as if they're going to get a total wipeout. Like, Momo's assuming a total wipeout. Soma is responding with a total wipeout. So it'll be very interesting to see this, and I really don't think we're gonna get a total wipeout. That would be a bit ridiculous. Like, again, the total wipeouts, on top of being dramatic, are a large power statement. And so in this case, I really do think we're more likely to get a 2-to-1. But again, the authors, it feels like we're likely to get a 2-to-1. But like, if these guys have already decided, no, we're getting a total wipeout, then yeah, we're gonna get a total wipeout. But it really depends on, like, if they want to switch up their patterns, whether or not we're gonna get that wipeout. Again, if someone's gonna lose, I really do feel Megumi goes down. If Takumi goes down, that is unfortunate. That's gonna mess up him being Soma's eternal rival hard. Okay, so other things to say. Just we know some people are gonna be helping. Takumi's going to be helping Megumi once he's done. That's a very interesting thing. Soma and Saito are going in with rice as one of their main components of their dishes. That's going to be pretty cool. And I do love that we're touching back on the Soma samurai type image, like the one with him facing off Saito at the end in the metaphor. That was pretty cool. I'm pretty happy about it. But yeah, overall, this was a pretty good setup type chapter for Shokugeki no Soma. I'm very excited to see what's going to happen. I do hope we run through the cooking relatively fast. You know, when we start the cooking, it's always going to be that issue of, like, oh, we're going to get a lot of food exposition, and there's no point reviewing food exposition. But with a case like Takumi, who we know is going to have a drama point unfolding throughout his cooking match, you know, I think it's going to be a relatively interesting type of thing. The things I'm looking forward to, I want to see how the authors are going to characterize fatigue, how they're going to make fatigue play into things, unless they're taking away Some's fatigue for some reason. I want to see how the teamwork's going to work out. You know, I really just want to see these guys do some pretty incredible stuff for this round. Like, this is the trio, the main trio. So overall, pretty excited. Guys, let me know what you thought down below, and until next time, I hope you have a great day.